Hello, coming to you today from my veggie patch. Scientists define motivation as the willingness to do something, and it fascinates me that Carol, one of my clients, once described gardening, which I absolutely adore, as soul destroying, and it clearly is the last thing that she would be motivated to do. Whereas here I am, yes, it's a beautiful sunny day today and it's lovely to be outside whilst we're in lockdown, so I'm very grateful for my garden so that I can get out and do it. But the fact is that my daughter Ellie, who is tucked away in the house, hasn't been outside at all, has no motivation to come out into this garden at all, unlike me. My son Ollie was dead keen to come out, and he came out and has dug a hole. You can't see it really, it's right at the top of the garden. I don't know if you can see that little green cone at the top of the garden there, and he's dug a metre deep hole over the last few days, and he's wanted to do it. He enjoyed it and he wanted to get out and do it. So what is it that motivates one person to do one thing and another person to just not want to do it? Well, I can't speak for Ollie, and maybe I'll ask him later. But certainly from my perspective, one of the things that motivates me is that I know I feel better when I come back in again. It makes me feel really, really good and always improves my mood. And so I know I'm getting that lasting benefit from it. But also, I think I'm a bit OCD. Again, you can't really see my beds. I've got raised beds all over the place here in my veggie patch, if you can see those. But I love having them all in order, and so that's the second thing I get a great deal of pleasure from. Is I like tidying and I like order, so I'm motivated to make sure that my somewhere that I like to spend a lot of time looks orderly. And then the other motivating factor is the long term. Yes, I get the immediate pleasure of having everything orderly and running as I want it to in my veggie patch and in my garden. But the long term goal is, well, how am I going to feel when I'm harvesting the gooseberries? How am I going to feel when I see the first little seedlings of my dill and my parsley and my coriander come through? And if I hadn't sown them at the right time and I've missed my slot, which in gardening is a common thing, if you miss your time, then you have to wait till next year. Well, then I know I'd be really annoyed and cross with myself, because I love nothing better than thinking, what am I going to cook for dinner, and then pottering up here and picking my own stuff. So the motivation for me to be out here is really, really strong. So what is motivating you to lose your weight? What is the end goal? What is it you're getting out of it on a day-to-day basis? And if you focus on that rather than a number, an ephemeral number, which really doesn't mean an awful lot to us, then I think you're going to be much more likely to tap that internal motivation.